What's up, everybody? I just want to do a video on pets real quick. We just got Gen 4 pets out in Kingdom 194, so I thought I'd do a video about pets and kind of explain the different skills, different strategies with them and whatnot. So first and foremost, pets can kind of be broken down into 3 different categories. First, the skill. Second, tied to that is advancement, which will increase your attack and defense as you make your way to the various levels of 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, and 100. Each of those giving you advancement in the skill depending on how high each of the pets go. And then third, is the refinement aspect of it, which is going to increase lethality and health. So first and foremost, these pets max out at different levels. So this gray pet the wolf maxes out at 50. The green pets, the lynx and the bison, max out at 60. The cheetah and the moose, the blue pets, max out at 70. The purple pets, the lion and the bear, max out at 80. And then the newest pets, the gold pets, max out at 100. And these are the giant rhino and the mighty bison. So let's first go over kind of the skills and whatnot. So first and foremost, to understand this advancement, they kind of cost more and more as you go up per level. But you don't get more for that level per se. It's pretty much a static increase all the way. There's, some pets that have more of an advancement in skill as they go up, but the advancement for squad attack and squad defense are pretty much static. So the first thing you need to understand is what is it you want to accomplish with these pets? What skills do you want to maximize, and then how much attack and defense can you maximize given how many growth medallions, nutrient potions, and growth manuals, nutrient potions, and promotion medallions that you have. So to kind of go over that point real quickly, let me just show you here with the links. So if you were to advance the links here, you can see that you're going to 1% advance in squad attack and 1% advance in squad defense. And that's going to cost you 130 growth manuals, 30 nutrient potions, and 10 promotion medallions. If you go to the bison, it's the exact same thing. You're going to get a 1% boost. So taking those two together, you're going to get essentially a 2% attack and defense boost for 260 growth manuals, 60 promotion medallions, and 20 promotion medallions. I said that wrong. Nutrient potions and promotion medallions. But anyways, now let's take a look at something like the lion. Okay, so for the lion, if you're to advance him to level 70, you're going to get a 1.5% increase for squad attack and squad defense. So you can see you get more for the 2 pets that are at level 50 than you do for the one going to level 80. But with that being said, level 70, sorry. With that being said, you can see that it actually costs more to get this guy advanced. So for here, you're getting 310 growth manuals, 80 nutrient potions, and 40 medallions. So that's more expensive than boosting these 2 pets to level 50. So that's one thing you need to consider. So with that in mind, now let's go through the skills and see which ones are actually worth it and which ones aren't. So the wolf is a very good pet in my opinion. He gives you a 15% increase for 5 minutes for construction speed. And this comes in really helpful for KVK prep. Like when if you've got a kingdom that has a king and they are doing a construction buff, and then you activate this along with your double time here in the justice, you're going to get 20% here, 15% with your pet, and then 10% with the kingdom. And from my experience, that typically cuts down a significant amount off the amount of time it takes to build a building. So if you're going for TG3 to TG5 or something, you may save upwards of almost half of the speed ups you would have used anyway. It's a really big, significant boost. So I really do think that he is well worth going to 50. It really doesn't cost that much. You might use, I think, 10 promotion medallions. It's probably the same as this guy, so let's see. Yeah, 10 promotion medallions. It's really low cost. It's well worth it. And just so you know, before level 50, you really don't spend any promotion medallions. It's just really growth manuals and nutrient potions, which are fairly easy to get. Next, we have the lynx. And the lynx has not the greatest skill, in my opinion. it's going to give you stamina. So in my opinion, this is really only worth doing for the percentage increase you're going to get. So for me, it is worth it to advance the Lynx to level 50 because it's going to give me 1% squad attack, 1% squad defense. Well worth it. But the skill itself, not worth it in my opinion. I do like the Mighty Bison. I'm probably going to take him to 50 and pretty much leave it there. But that's pretty much only for the squad attack and squad defense. This one simply gets it so when you send something out, and by advancing it, you're actually only reducing how many times you can use it. But what this does is for sending out something like if you're gathering, it'll immediately gather everything. So it's saving like 14 hours, whatever your time is to, you know, farm a level 8 mine or whatever it is. And I'll usually use it on iron just because the True Gold Crucible takes an equal amount of all the resources, and obviously iron is the most expensive and harsh to get. So that's pretty much what I do every day. I'll get some iron with this guy. But it's not a skill that I think is worth spending too much in nutrient potions or promotion medallions to get it, you know, a few more hours saved. Really, it's just about squad attack defense, and I think level 50 is pretty much a good place to stop there, unless you have already maxed out everything else. After that, we have Cheetah. Cheetah, again, is not one that has that great of skills. It's just getting you some pet food, and pet food is kind of readily available throughout the game. Not really a rare resource in this game. So again, this one is one that I don't think it's really worth it to spend a ton of promotion medallions and nutrient potions to get an extra 100 food from 400, 500 by going past level 50. But the advancement on this does give you slightly more squad attack and defense. So if you're going from level 50 to 60 here, you can see you're going for 1.25% you're going to get. So not bad. Next to the Moose. I maxed the Moose out because the Moose has an awesome skill. This one is going to reduce enemy squad health by 5% for 2 hours, and that is a big debuff. That's like essentially like a negative widget that's going to reduce theirs by 5% total. Not just reducing it by subtracting 5% off squad attack and defense, but reducing it in total. Yeah, so I maxed that one out 100% because that's like a widget, and that is a very good skill and very useful in KVK and other places. The Lion is one that does not have anything to do with attack or defense, but I really like it a lot, and I think it's, you know, worth getting as reduced as possible without going too high. I'm at 1 day and 7 hours, and I think that's a pretty good place. But the gifts you get from the Lion are just insane. Like, you will get Charm Defense, you'll get Charm Designs, you'll get True Gold, you'll get Forge Hammers, and the amount you get is typically about, I think it has a monetary value about $2.50. So I think it's well worth it. At this stage, when you're advancing, you're still about at that 1.5% increase for attack and defense. So it's not a huge increase, and I think that when you kind of get to this point of like, I mean, I'd like to get it to 23 hours, but I don't think it's really worth the promotion medallions. After that, we have the Bear, and the Bear is another great one that I will max out, probably this next KVK. The Bear is going to increase march speed by 30%, which is fine, but the real important part is that it's going to reduce the squad's lethality by 5%. So that, tied with the Moose, is a great debuff for anybody you're attacking. And again, just like I said before, this isn't like subtracting it, it's like a negative, I guess you'd be dividing it if you would. And it's a great debuff. We actually do use the Bear and the Moose in Bear Trap. I'm not sure if it really does anything, but we do it anyway because maybe it does. But from a logical standpoint, it seems like it shouldn't because the Bear's not attacking you. Maybe taking the health away might make you take more damage, but the reduction in lethality doesn't seem like it should really do much of anything. Then we got the two new pets, and these two new pets just have awesome skills. Like, they really live up to the title of like SSR pets. So the Giant Rhino is giving you, right now I'm at like 3.5 squad attack, but this goes all the way up to 10% squad attack. And like I said before, with most things have like their static iterations of increasing by the same amount, this skill actually starts jumping up from like 0.5% to 1% once you get to level 40. So then you're going to go 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Now, if you think about this, this is a huge deal, because this is essentially a 10% widget for 2 hours. So if you have Amadeus with his 15% squad attack, you have Petra with 15% squad attack, and you have this triggered, you're looking at a 40% increase in squad attack on rallies. That is huge. That is really huge. And when it comes to something like KVK, that's really important. So this one I will absolutely be advancing all the way as soon as I get to KV8 prep, because we just got this one, so I didn't really push it too far. Then we got the Mighty Bison, which also has an awesome skill. So right now I'm at 4,500 extra squad capacity. This goes all the way up to 15,000 extra squad capacity for 2 hours. That's insane. If you tie this into, if you do this with the rhino, with the bear and the moose, you have like such a huge increase in your stats based on these pets. So I think that both of these are very much worth maxing out. And just a point I would make about KVK. KVK is 6 hours, and these last for 2 hours. So I kind of believe that if you have like 3 solid rally leads that can all hold a castle, you might want to like time their pets. So first one goes for 2 hours, then the next one goes 2 hours, and the next one goes 2 hours. And that way you have 6 full hours of maxed out pet skills for whoever's holding the castle. I think in the past we've kind of had it where everybody hits their pets in the early first 2 hours, and then all of them have it, and then all of them drop off at the same time. So that's just a little point I like to make about that. So anyways, those are all the skills. Now I kind of want to turn to refinement, because refinement is a whole nother ball game. So refinement is kind of an interesting game where you start out with these gray 0%, right? And this is all lethality and health, which is big, right? So when you first start doing increases with common marks on these gray skills, or these gray lethality and health stats, they go up like so much, so fast. And what I intend to do right before KVK is I'm probably going to get like 2,000 training marks or something. And I want to do an experiment where I see how many it takes to get one of these guys to blue, one level, whatever it is, whichever one it hits first. And then record how many taming marks it took, how much of power increase I got, and then go to the next one, which would be, you know, the giant rhino, and try the same thing with him. What I've observed, and I think is the case, and I'm not certain about this, is 100% what is going on is as you go higher and higher up between gray, blue, purple, and then ultimately gold, it takes more training marks to get power. Like in these early stages with gray, you might do like 9, or you might do 10 training marks and 9 of them are positive, right? And you get big increases for that. By the time you're to purple, that might flip-flop where you're doing 10 and you're getting 1 that's positive. So it is a big decrease. The only thing I want to test out is whether or not that it's once you hit 1 blue, it starts decreasing, or if it's when everything gets to blue. So that's what I will be testing in the future. I'll show you that when I was doing this on my own previously, I was doing all purple, all purple, all purple. And then I kind of got the idea like, well, maybe I should just do it till, you know, 1 level gets to purple and switch to the next one, do it till 1 level gets to purple, switch to the next one. So that's what I started doing, and I do believe that I got better results with that. So that's kind of what I've been doing, and that's what I want to test out in the future. One other thing I want to point out is that I have seen videos where they suggest that you get better results with higher level pets. That's not something I've personally observed, and it may be shown statistically for whatever the sample size was, but what I've observed is that with these pets, where you can see right here at purple level, he's maxing out 4.69% for lethality and health, right? At gray level for these guys, they're going all the way to 6.7. So the gray on these guys is more health and lethality than you get in the purple with these guys. But I do think that the marks give the same amount of power increase per common mark, and I think the ratio is the same. So the only difference is that you might reach purple faster with like the gray wolf than you will with like the mighty bison, right? So anyways, that's what I think I'll be testing in the future, but just kind of want to point that out. So, I mean, if I were to give you a strategy without doing my test in the future, I would say that it is best to kind of go through if you're all gray, get one to blue, go to the next pet, get one to blue, go to the next pet, go to one blue, get to the next pet, and just keep doing that so you're leveling up evenly, because that way you're gonna, if it's true that it is getting harder and harder with each iteration once you hit blue or once you hit a new level, you will maximize the amount of power you'll get and minimize the amount of common training marks you spend. Last issue I'm going to talk about real quick is the advanced training marks. The advanced training marks are really good, kind of. They're about 10 times more expensive than common marks, but I think they're about 10%, 10 times better. I really haven't found like a really good use for them, but I think that and I think this is probably pretty good advice. It's just use them when you get to purple. You know, if you're at purple and you have something like this, if you have the advanced training marks, use them. But there's not really a real benefit, in my opinion, to using those. If I use, 10 common marks and I get one advanced training mark isn't necessarily going to be the same thing, but it could, I think it's about the same. And I also have noticed that with the advanced training marks, the higher up you go, meaning like if you go gray to blue to purple, it does get harder even with the advanced training marks. I just think that you get a bigger boost for each one. But I haven't noticed, and I really am never going to get enough training marks to really test this out, I haven't noticed that the training marks are more valuable. So I've kind of just followed the common advice that people give, which is like, when you get to purple, start using your advanced training marks. So anyways, that's my take on pets, and I hope you guys find that useful.